this will self-tilt?
Yeah, self-tilt. This is my son's 450-pound Golf, and we installed a 1000 horsepower engine in the rear. And on the last video, we got this rolling back on its wheels and outside. And on this video, we're going to build a roll cage around this 1000 horsepower engine. We have to make this perfect. We have to make the fit up great, because this is for the safety of my son. Because we all know he's going to spin this, and we all know he's going to wheelie it, so it has to be right. So let's get on to this Golf. Let's start the first job, which is going to be making the main hoop. This is a wrestle. So what I've done is I've made it that tight. As you're going in here, it's basically sitting around this area. So that's probably 20 mil, that's 20 mil, and that there is causing me a issue. So now I've kind of got it in, I need to square it up and trim the legs down. Finally, trimming, we got it in, and my God, did I make it a close fit. It is touching, 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 and touching. It fits incredible. And down in this area, I've made sure it's a nice fit and square. For me first going for like 15, 20 years, I'm quite pleased with it. So now it's time to start getting some straight, start basically building off the main hoop to kind of the rear cradle kind of space frame, putting all the X's in and reinforcing it all and making it strong. Starting on the first two bars, very simple ones, just going across. So this one is kind of like a rear strut brace. Don't know where it's going to sit yet, whether it's going to sit further back or further forward. I won't know until I start getting into the exhaust manifold area. But this one is kind of the wild card, and the reason for this is everyone in the comments has already put this, knowing that all the weight's over the rear and we're making a lot of horsepower, and this thing is potentially going to wheelie. So this here is for, if we do drag racing, I've got a parachute place, and I can put a mount there, mount there, mount there, and a mount there, and run out some wheelie bars to stop that. Because we all know my son's an idiot, and we're going to scare him when he pulls the front wheels of a Golf Mk4. So now let's get on with the fun stuff, start putting the drop-down bars in and all the X's. They're the ones I'm looking forward to. But first, let's have a quick tea break. What's this? This is faster. The management. Where's my kettle gone? Holy, let's have a go at this. Let's have a look at this. So we've got energy, milkshake, iced tea and hydration. Tons of flavours. What's this one? Apple alligator. Energy drink, no sugar, natural flavours. Let's have a look. Let's get the hose pipe out. So, not the cleanest water, but let's have a go at this. Half a litre. Well, if this tastes alright from a hose pipe water, it's got to be good. Let's have a go. Tell you what, it's alright that. Apple alligator with some hose pipe water. Goes alright that. I might have to put the kettle in the bin, because this is alright. It's refreshing, it keeps me hydrated, it gives me energy. This is a perfect drink for me. So we'll put a link in the description. Go and check them out. See what you think, because this starter box has multiple flavours. Some you might like, some you might not, but I'm pretty confident you'll find something that works for you. So we'll also put a code on the screen for the bit of discount. So let's crack on with some work, and let's crack on using Holy. Oh, smash. So the angle we need is 33 degrees for the drop down. On the notcher, it has an angle, so you can change the angle of your tube. Obviously 90 is over here and 30 is here, so rotate that all the way around to 30, which is like about there, and that then should give us the angle we need for the 33 degrees. like a glove. Good enough for the girls' eye day, I'll tell you that much. We've both now the down tubes sorted out. It's now run some string, work out your angles, and put an X in this area. Oh, it's gonna look incredible. Oh, look at that. Look at that for fitment. Started to tack in now because obviously I can't hold this by hand. Now I've got to do this bar, which I hate because if it's not bang in the centre and it's slightly cocked, and it can take a million times and a million goes. So let's do the 2 bars that I hate. So that's the main cross done. And if you will have saw, this bar was a couple of mil out, which pushed it upwards, which made that look ridiculous. Because that's the main focal point in the car that everyone sees, and if you get it wrong, it looks stupid. Literally a couple of milli off has made standing at the rear, the angle just doesn't look right, so I had to chop it, start again. That's why that tube notcher is a godsend. So now I think it's time to start putting all the crosses and X's and braces into the main hoop. Even worse part of the X next is the secondary one, which is obviously that string line, and the reason is you've already got a centre point. So if you look at that piece of string now, it's actually a little bit that way, so that one needs to, this piece of string needs to come down because you want the X's parallel. Yeah, that one's the easy one. These two are the hard two. The laser's out to make sure that X is bang on central, and we've got to make then the join on that line on the front bar. Hopefully lines up with there. That's good enough for me. And the main cross is in. Look at it. Just look at it. Oh, it's laser perfect. Look at that. Bang on, bang on. I am well happy. So now I think it's time to look at probably putting some harness bars in here. Even though I think my son's going to use it on the road, if any time we need to put some harnesses and bucket seats in whilst I'm this far, I might as well put some in. Yeah, come on. So the harness bar is now tacked in. Let me show you how we've done it because it's slightly different to what I said I was going to do. We have put it staggered from the main hoop X. If you look, we have staggered it out there and we've tied it into basically that diagonal. The reason for it is no other than I think that looks better, because if I put a bar across here, it's going to mess up the X and it's not going to look visually aesthetically pleasing. And then when you stand at the rear, you've got X, X, and then this staggered out. Right, so what we're testing now is the seat can't go any further back because the harness bar. So I need to know, is that seat in the right position for you to reach the pedals? If anything, you can move it forward, but you can't move it back. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think I'm right. So I'm hoping it's too far back for you and then you can pull it forward.
Definitely too far back. This low?
No, it'd be higher, but just for your legs. No, ignore it, it's just for your legs.
That's quite good actually.
Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, if that's like the maximum.
That's the maximum you can go back.
Perfect, then, yeah,
right. Perfect. That'll do, because obviously this bar determines how far you can go back.
Yeah,
right, as long as you can reach the pedals, it's not too far. Good work. So I've started to TIG weld the cage in. I'm at a bit of a standstill now because I need to remove the engine so I can get to some of the more difficult areas. But I can't remove the engine because if you remember in the previous video, I welded in some temporary suspension so I could get it outside. So I need to revisit suspension design. So what that means is I need to get the car out on the trailer on over to BC Racing to measure up for some custom coilovers. Absolute nightmare. I'm on my own, and what's happened is I've pushed it out. The shocker mount that I just temporarily tacked on has collapsed off, and one of the ball joints had just where I tacked on has come off. So now I've got to drag a welder out in the middle of the road and tack it back on, and hopefully we'll be back on the road. Well, the tack welds didn't last the journey, did they? Because both sides have gone. The stance guys are like this though. This is going to be fun, trying to get this off, trying to get it up in the air again. But we're at BC Racing. We're going to get measured up for some coilovers. Let's see what they think.
Right, so just slow and steady, watch your feet, yeah? So this will self-tilt.
Yeah, self-tilt. Right, at least we're off a little bit. Tap that one back on. We're getting somewhere. One step at a time. That was an headache. So what it had done was, because I'd only tacked these top mounts on the top, the weight was pushing this makeshift suspension up and had bent this one, making it a nightmare. So I think we're going to get the measurements that we need today from BC, and then when I get back I'll remake the top mounts, re-level them, because I've just tacked them into place so we can do what we're doing. But I know the passenger side's right, the driver's side's probably not right and level, but enough we can get some measurements.
Way! Look at that. Your aerial. On top, potentially. But either way, with the canister hose, we can run anything up to 900 mil, which we didn't need to touch upon there.
So that's us done at BC Racing. Can't thank them enough. We are back on the trailer. They've taken all the measurements off the rear of the car. They're talking about all sorts of fancy preload and this, and I have no idea. But I think later down in the line, when the coilovers are done and we're fitting them, we're going to come back and we're going to learn what everything means. So let's get the car back to the workshop and let's fix the damage of taking it out. Get it in there. And this is the reason why I'm remaking them, because obviously in a desperate situation I'm just snotting stuff on, making it look terrible. And by the time I've probably cleaned that up and made the weld look pretty, I might as well just start again because it's quicker and easier. So yeah, one side off, one to go, and then I can remake them and put them back on. We have had the rear quarter glasses taken out to make it easier to weld round, and I have also started to treat the rust spots which were around the windows, because that's the main areas of the car were around this edge, and there's one patch here. Get your welding torch in somehow. So let me show you how it's kind of going to be finished and what BC Racing was actually measuring. So obviously we've bent our tube now, we've tacked it on, but what I've had is, I've had these laser cut out of 5mm. They will weld on the top bends of where the shocker top's going to sit. As you can see, like something like this. Then at the bottom, we have these adjustable holes. So what BC Racing did was measure from these holes to these holes, which then gave them a kind of a suspension length. And then BC Racing is going to make us a custom set of suspension, infinitely adjustable, not only height, spring rate, you name it, they're going to put all the magic in it. So that's what BC Racing did. So with the rear roll cage now all complete and the majority of the fab work done, on the next video, we're going to finish the last of these fuel odds and ends off on the rear. And the best thing is, we're going to show you the turbos because they have arrived. I've not opened the boxes yet. I'm as excited probably you guys are. So if you're enjoying this, click like, please comment because we see them all and we do reply. Take care, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.